Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic. Now, the thing is, when it comes to biopics about musical musicians, is that we all kind of roll our eyes a bit because we're all like, what's going to be different about this one? What's going to be different about it? You know, if I swipe Walk the Line and Human Rhapsody or Rocket Man, you would think I'm thinking about the other one. Like, you know, let me guess the plot. Anytime there's a new one, right? So anytime there's a new biopic about a musical artist, we go and say, okay, let me guess the plot. You have a optimistic singer who becomes famous. They are having struggle handling the fame with, you know, paparazzi shooting, you know, having the cameras out your face 24/7. They get into the habit of drinking and doing drugs, and they're becoming alcoholic and a drug addict, and maybe a sex addict. You know, depends what the biopic is. Maybe it's a couple of them, maybe it's all three. You know, depends on the movie, right? But at some point, they see the error of the ways. They realize they have become toxic. They go to rehab. They might say no, 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 but they go to rehab, and then at the end of the film, they become what they were at the beginning of the film, and they are back to their true selves. I basically described those three movies that I just mentioned: Healing Rhapsody, Rocket Man, and Walk the Line, right? And I would lie, Back to Black is no different. It's no different. The only difference is, okay, there's a love story in this. Actually, to be fair, Rocket Man, there was a love story to it. But anyway, but in this, it's all locked around between Amy and Blake, and their like toxic codependency of each other, and how like there's a scene where, you know, earlier in the movie, Amy actually hits him, and you know, he's naturally is like, okay, I understand you lost your shit like the other night, but to make sure that doesn't happen again, I'm just going to leave. And she's like, no, I need you. You're my soul. You're my soul, babe. You're my soul. I try and do like was it upper class British accent, but I can't do it. Maybe I can do a male one. Yeah. But you're my soul, babe. You got my soul. You know, you're everything to me. And you know, this kind of loves, this codependency, toxicity, and how much of she was in love, and then how she kind of never got over it, and then they got back together, got married, and how it kind of got even worse. And I mean, that's the difference. There's a love story in there, and the love story is actually really well done and really well appended. That you really feel the chemistry between the two characters and between the two actors. I know technically these people are real people, but in the context of a movie, it's the characters. It's a weird thing when it's biopics, right? Where we normally say characters, we know they're fictional. This case, it's not, but we get our drift, right? We get it. Understand? It's weird, right? Say characters, but they're real people. But you get what I'm trying to say here. But you see the chemistry. You understand why these two people will fall in love with each other, and this weird up and down codependency kind of thing they have. How sometimes Amy has a bit of a short fuse, or she's a little bit like, fuck you, man, you get the fuck out of my face, you geezer, or whatever slur she wants to say, and, you know, so there's that towards it, and her shortcomings, and her, weaknesses, and, as human beings, we're not perfect, so her, when she gets mad, she goes a little bit overboard sometimes. And while he's a cocaine addict, and he's kind of having he's having a sense of, not jealousy, but a sense of insecurities of himself, of like, I'm married or I'm in a relationship with a singer who's more likely going to become famous and more likely going to dump, who's more likely going to be interested of some big name artist, because famous people date famous people, versus some regular Joe. So there's a little bit also of that. By the way, the makeup. Like, look, I haven't met many cocaine addicts. I probably have never met one. But the whole, like, the makeup on, like, the starving and, like, what drugs does to your face. I'm like, geez, that actually is pretty good. But here's the thing about this movie: it is wonderfully paced. It's wonderfully paced. Like, it is 2 hours and 2 minutes long. And I personally would like cut like 2 scenes, and that's like 2 scenes at the beginning. Like in the first half, it's like 10 minutes, maybe 15. Because the Western movie knows when to play the greatest hits and just go song after song after song after song after song after song after song. But they know also when to just let it break down. Time to just be with the characters. Time not to just go through the motions of like, oh, it's a biopic and it's about musical. It's a musical biopic. It's time to go through the greatest hits. It does that, but it knows when to take it down a little bit. And also, it's interesting because there are certain points in the movie where when the song plays, and there's a couple of times where they just play the whole thing, and I checked it, I'm like, I don't know if it's like half dubbed or not dubbed, or they use the actual albums or the actual songs and all that. But Back to Black is the entire song. We Have is the entire song is played. So there's certain moments in the movie where the whole song's getting played, but it's all about Amy's emotion. What's she feeling right now? What is she in her state in the state of the movie? What is she feeling? And I'm like, this is a really well put together directed film. And I was kind of like, wait, this is directed by the person who did 50 Shades? I was like, okay. The first 50 Shades, okay. There's a little bit of like art housey kind of stuff in there we're doing with like a pole and all that. And I was like, okay. But I'm like, this as biopics go, I'm like, you know what? Thumbs up. Because I heard like I didn't saw the Bob Wiley one, and people say, yeah, it was fine. This movie, Black to Back. I actually always want to say Back to Black. I'm like, no, that's AC/DC. Back to Black. I'm like, yes, it's paid by numbers, but you know where things are going to be heading. Definitely, if you knowing it is a biopic, so you can always like Google stuff. And it does end like on a pretty down note, and then they immediately like, come on, let's give people a happy ending after that. But this is a really solid biopic, a pretty well done biopic.